This week we leave Ocracoke Island and board a ferry over to Hatteras Island, only to find the gas shortage, the rain, and the 50-mile-per-hour winds would change everything for this week's adventure. While most were packing and getting off the island, we were trying to make the most of it, and we've learned to do that and
never trust farts.
Hang on to your hat, it's about to get windy.
And it doesn't even matter to me where I go, I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight.
We're in line right now to get on the ferry to hop over from Ocracoke to Hatteras. It's a free ferry. It goes at the top of the hour and the bottom of the hour every 30 minutes, which means you probably should try to arrive about 15 until 12 or 15 after 12, not at 5 after 12 like we did. But hopefully we'll get on this ride over. Liz just asked me, how many of these cars get on this one ferry? I pointed to that truck up there and said, right up there to that truck in front of us is my bet. I don't think it's going to be that far back in the line, actually. Stopped us. I might have been right. That truck gets to go.
What truck? The one in
Right
front
in front of us. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong by one vehicle. She's up there going, please let me on, please let me on. Okay, he's walking away. That means we're going to be here for another 30 minutes, but you know what?
It's okay.
We're in our home, aren't we? It doesn't make any difference. Yeah, we can do that.
You're lucky to have a friend like Murray.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
In days before radar and GPS, lighthouses like the Hatteras Light Station were a beacon in the night for those approaching this area known as the Graveyard of the Atlantic. Now it serves more as a reminder of the way things were in simpler times.
Since we were at the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse, we thought we would drive out to the campground here at Cape Point. It's a huge campground, and there's only probably 3 people here, and I bet there's over, what, 200 campsites?
At least. There's just tons of campsites.
Yeah. It is all out in the wide open, so it's...
There's no shelter from the sun.
Or the wind. Up here looks like a couple of overlanders. Love those kind of rigs, tents on top of their vehicles. But other than that, it's pretty empty.
But we put the lighthouse behind us and headed to our destination, the Frisco Campground.
Arriving at Frisco Campground on Hatteras Island. Looking for P28. P2. Wonder why they start with P.
I need to pee too.
You need to P2.
Hard party, hard.
The Frisco Campground provides views from the top of hills that are just spectacular. You can even see vans coming off of an ocean entrance. With the winds blowing 30 and 40 miles an hour, it made for an angry ocean. And it made for a short walk along boardwalks with hopes that the wind would stop so we could enjoy days that we had planned.
So that says 4x4, but as you saw, it was a long ways out there to go
to get to that little drive to get out onto the beach. And that van, well, it looked like a van that was similar to ours, and we actually stopped them when they were coming down the road. And what did they say?
It was actually a Revel.
It was, wasn't it?
Right, a blue one. And he said that it took him 8 tries to get out of there, and that he wouldn't recommend doing it. It was just way too heavy.
But then I watched car after car after car and truck and SUV go out while we were there. It didn't look like it was that difficult. But he did say that they aired down, I don't know. I was hoping he would say, yeah, it's a piece of cake, so I could convince Lynn. But if you guys have any experience with that, especially if you've got experience taking a big thing like this off on one of those beach roads, how about commenting down below and telling us, first of all, should we do it? And then second, if so, what advice do you have for us so that we can make the most of that? Because the last thing I want to do is talk Lynn into doing this and then get stuck. That wouldn't be good, would it? So this morning we're leaving the Frisco Campground and we're heading north up 12, destination actually unknown, we don't know. Eventually we're going to end up in Oregon Inlet, but I think we're just going to be on one of those days today where if something catches our eye, we're just going to stop. I think my mom and dad used to call it meandering. We're just going to meander north.
Yeah.
So
sounds good.
Sounds good, and we'll take you guys along with us. The Frisco Campground, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but it was a really, really cool, beautiful sight from the top of the hill down to all the water. And we had a good time there, a good little stop. Things happen all the time when you're traveling, and this is the first time that a gas shortage has happened while we're traveling because of the pipeline being shut down. But we were able to fill up with diesel. Not enough to get home, but at least we have some diesel.
So here's the line for gas as we pass the gas station.
Gas truck right there.
So people waiting in line. Ooh, doggies. Our first stop this morning, Diamond Shoals Restaurant. Lines for gas. Scary.
Second stop, Rodanthe. We've stayed here before and knew that we loved it here, but there is one store in particular that is one of your favorites.
It's huge. Got lots of stuff to look at. And
The Kitty Hawk Kites surf shop that's here, and they do kite surfing lessons and other things, but it's really cool and really neat. We are eating a snack. I'm eating a Wish sandwich.
2 pieces of bread. That's pretty sad, isn't
I
it?
wish I had some bananas in between or
He's
something.
got bananas back
Oh,
there.
I
You
do
should-
not.
I
I
could put you some
prefer
on
this.
there.
And we started living a lot of our. Hang on, chewing. We do a lot of things by 3 letters. Lynn just plugged up her phone because one of the things we try to live by is ABC. Always be charging.
Yep.
And I always do the ABR. Always be resting. And while I was in there, I thought of another one. And I had to come back out to the van to go to the bathroom because there's also this other one as you get a little older called NTF. It's never trust farts.
Oh my goodness, that was your papa's, wasn't it?
He told me when you get to be his age, that's one of the things. He said, unless you've got on brown britches, don't ever trust a fart.
Too much information.
We're gonna head away.
TMI.
TMI is another one,
Right.
yeah, but I very rarely give too much information.
Bull crap.
Apple butter. We're going to keep going north on 12, eventually ending up where we cross over the beautiful setting in the Oregon Inlet. And it's just been a perfect little day so far. Meandering days are good days, aren't
It
they?
is a good day. Yeah.
It is. All righty.
Where we stop next?
I know. I have no idea. It won't be for gas, but boy, the gas lines today. This is May 11th, and North Carolina is in the middle of a perceived gas shortage. And the more people that go line up at the pumps, the more the gas shortage gets worse and worse. But everywhere we're going now, it's slower to get there because there are lines on the road as people are trying to get off at gas stations. It seems it's almost crazy.
And it's kind of crazy. You're stuck on an island.
I know. I guess an island's not a really good place to be if there's a gas shortage, but it is a good time to have diesel. Let's roll.
All right. So there's not a diesel shortage. There's just a gas shortage.
I'm sure there's a diesel
Are
shortage.
you going
Well,
to stop that camera?
I don't know. I doubt it. I probably should, shouldn't I?
Probably.
That's one of the bad things about having the bikes on the back, and it doesn't do it with just the box, but the bikes, it drives that backup warning thing.
Crazy.
It just pisses that thing off big time.
So we always have to double check.
Yeah. Usually you can trust it. If it starts beeping, you need to stop, but you can't do it with this. Okay. I think we should stop yakking and start tracking. Well, the ride across the bridge was beautiful. We're checked into our site here at Oregon Inlet National Park Campground. It's a beautiful place. It looks empty, but it's going to fill up tonight pretty much, except for the tent sites. There's no electric sites available, but that's okay with us. We've gotten really used to just having no power and a dry camping experience. So here, I'll show you around the site just a little bit. In a few minutes we'll walk around. But if you've seen one of these campgrounds here at the coast, well, my grandfather's famous for saying a lot of things, and one of the things he used to say was, you know, if you've seen one boob, you've usually seen the other one. One of the things we love about the national park campgrounds especially is how diverse all the campers are. You'll see a little bit of everything, from just Walmart tents to nothing at all. Every now and then you'll see a schoolie like the one beside of us. The Opus off-road that was just down the road too, that thing looks awesome as well. Maggie, this is Chuck, okay? He's a good guy, but you don't need to know that because he's rubbing your belly, isn't he?
Nothing better than getting to meet Maggie, that's for sure.
We woke up to 50 to 60 mile an hour winds outside, it sounds like. And here, I want you to hear what it sounds like when it's like that. It really, really rocks this van.
Think I could probably do it fast. Let me see if Look at all the sand.
She's so good, Maggie. She is so good.
It's a never-ending battle getting all the sand up and all the dog hairs up when you're traveling in a small van.
And if you're parked next to the ocean.
Yeah, the sand kind of goes with the ocean. We're always battling dog hairs.
So, you know, I thought about this. I wanted to ask you if you thought the same thing. You think Mommy should have waited until we went ahead and went for this walk? We're getting ready to go on. Because she's going to have to do it again, isn't she? We're at the beach. In fact, I can see waves breaking right over the dunes there. But it feels really good, warm and toasty in the van right now. We have the heat on. It's 54 degrees outside, and I bet the wind chill is probably in the low 40s. It feels really cold. We're gonna duck out and take Maggie for one little walk, and then we're gonna turn in for the evening here. I don't know. A couple weeks ago we said we're not old, but
We might be today.
lately we've been acting old, haven't we?
Yeah.
But we're still going. That Eskimo in front of me, better known as Lynn.
I've hung around this place too long. It's time for me to be moving on. Yes, it is.
Well, good morning. We're struggling this morning, to be honest with you. We woke up here on the coast of North Carolina in the Outer Banks, and you know what? To say it's windy, well, that's quite the understatement. We have gusts over 50 miles an hour and sustained winds of in the 40s, and it is what they call here in the local area, it is blowing. And this little van is rocking. The problem we have is that it's changing our routines. Normally we sit outside, and this is a very comfortable van when you can sit outside because your living room is as big as the area you're in. But when you have to hunker down inside of it, well, it becomes smaller and smaller by the hour. And so we're finding ourselves trying to figure out what to do today. It's going to rain all day today here in the Outer Banks. And I know that sounds like I'm complaining. We're lucky we get to come out here and we get to do what we do. And we just want you to know that if you do the same thing, it's not always this panacea kind of fun thing that you end up doing. You have to deal with the same thing that locals have to deal with, even though you're not a local. If you had a home, you'd probably just hunker down and do chores today. If you don't have a home and you're living in a van, well, you've got to find something to do to get through this day, because it's going to be a pretty rough day with the wind and the rain. It would be easy for us to turn this seat around and to head back towards the mountains in North Carolina and to hunker down and sleep in our bed tonight. We're probably 6 hours away from home right now, and we've been known to drive further than that in one day just to get home. But I don't think we're going to. Time will tell, but right now I think we're going to just go find something to do, maybe an outlet mall or something that'll really make Lynn happy, and someplace we can be inside for a couple of hours and then back here just to hunker down and wait on this blow and wind to leave us. But we'll see what we actually do.
Another cup of coffee?
I was trying my best to get your coffee ready, but you beat me to it. You got back faster than I thought you did.
I didn't think she'd want to cut through at the bathroom, but she did.
Oh well. Maggie. Well, a trip to Walmart has turned into, well, what did we decide to do?
Trying to make a decision whether we want to just go on home or stick it out here and battle the weather and the wind.
Weather and wind has really beat us up, and we're really dreary, just like today is. But there's also the gas shortage that has popped up, and in some ways we feel like we'll be okay, that we can find diesel, and we hope we can. We're only about 25 miles short of making it home with a tank of diesel, and that's what we have right now.
But we kind of feel guilty just out riding around looking for things to do and
Wasting fuel and having a good
so-
time when people don't have enough gas to make it back and forth to work.
or we might not have enough gas to make it back.
Yeah, it's true. So I believe we're both smelling the barn. We're going to head home. What can you learn from this? Well, I think we learned from this that we're always flexible, and we're always reevaluating where we're going and why we're going there. This is a beautiful area to come to, but Lynn and I figured out as soon as we started looking at all the things that we could do here, first thing we figured out, all the things you want to check off your bucket list, we've already done. And I'll link a video in the description and up above of the time we went to Kill Devil Hills.
Yeah, and there's so much to do here. There really is. There's so much history and so many things to do when the weather is good.
Yeah, and when COVID is not around. Things are starting to open up because of the ending of COVID, but things are still really, really different. It just feels, everything seems to be different. And so maybe we're wimping out. But you know what? As Lynn would say off camera, we're grown-ass adults. We can make up our mind, and we can decide that we're
not feeling it. We're just not feeling it.
And so we're going to go back home and regroup. What will that mean for the next few weeks? I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get home. But for right now, this isn't where we want to be. So there's no reason for us to still be here. I'd say I need to shut up and we need to start driving.
Let's go. Until next time.
Well, no, it won't be until next time because, we're going to show them anything going home. I doubt it. Okay.
It's just driving, so I don't think
you don't want to see that.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. So.
Okay, so you're right. Until next time. Pull your tail up here, Maggie. Happy tails.
Maggie sucked out.
We don't need diesel right now, but we're going to go ahead and top off because it looks like at this station, all they have is diesel. I can tell you, in the Travado with a 220 mile range or 250 mile range, it would be really worrisome right now. But what we're seeing, and maybe we're just being lucky in this area, is that gas is gone, but diesel is still available. So while it is, I'm going to fill up. Are you going to go outside, Maggie? I like going outside, Mama, when I first wake up. But it sounds like somebody's got the fan on outside, doesn't it? It's just windy. It's Tuesday, not Wednesday. No, wait a minute, it is Wednesday too.